Hello, friends. Once upon a time in a faraway kingdom, there was a small village nestled amidst rolling hills and lush greenery. The villagers were known for their warm hospitality and their deep-rooted traditions. But like any other community, they had their share of problems. One such issue was the annual town meeting, which was supposed to be a platform for discussing and resolving community issues. However, it had turned into a chaotic event filled with arguments and no resolutions. Year after year, the meetings would end without any progress, leaving the villagers frustrated and disheartened. One day, the king decided to visit the village to see for himself what was going on during these town meetings. He wanted to understand why a system that was designed to bring the community together had instead become a symbol of disunity. So he disguised himself as an ordinary citizen and attended one of these meetings. As the king entered the village square where the meeting was being held, he saw a group of men engaged in a heated argument. Their voices were raised and their body language was aggressive. The king, being an experienced leader, knew that force was not the way to resolve this issue, so he decided to take a different approach. He calmly walked up to the arguing men and asked them, "Why are you all fighting?" One of the men angrily responded, "We've been trying to make the town meeting productive for years, but it's always ended in chaos. Everyone here is just too stubborn to listen to each other." The king nodded understandingly. "I see," he said. "But isn't there something you all have in common? Isn't there some shared belief or value that could unite you despite your differences?" The man looked at the king, puzzled by his question. "Well, I suppose we all want what's best for the village," he said hesitantly. "Of course," the king affirmed. "And isn't that worth fighting for? Why can't you focus on that common goal instead of your differences?" The man considered the king's words for a moment. I suppose you're right," he admitted. "We do all want the same thing." The king smiled, knowing that he had planted a seed of thought. "Exactly," he said. "And if you all truly want the same thing, then why not work together to achieve it? Why not channel all that energy you're expending on fighting into creating positive change?" As the king continued to speak, the men began to quiet down. They started to see the wisdom in his words. It was so simple, yet so profound. Why had they not thought of this before? From that day on, the town meetings in the village were transformed. The villagers, inspired by the king's words, began to focus on their shared goals and values. They learned to respect each other's opinions and work together to find common ground. The annual town meeting, once a time of chaos and division, became a beacon of unity and progress. The king, seeing the positive change, smiled. His mission to restore harmony to the village had been successful. He had shown them that true strength lay not in division and conflict, but in unity and cooperation. And so the legend of the wise king who helped a village rediscover the power of unity echoed through the ages, reminding everyone who listened that even in the darkest of times, a single spark of understanding can ignite a flame of peace. So, friends, the story tells us that we should not waste our time and energy fighting with others. Instead, we should focus on our common goals and values and work together to achieve them. Remember, true strength lies not in division and conflict, but in unity and cooperation. And with that, let's bring our story time to an end. If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more, don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, goodbye.